Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Binky here today trying on a new Zoologist scent. New to me. They've been out a lot of them for a while. I am going to be bringing the vials in, but I just realized that some of them are at work. Yes. And I work from home quite a bit. So I left them. So we're going to be working with these bad boys today. Yeah. So, but the next time, I actually like these better because you can see the pictures on it, but it's all about the perfume. So I am going to get in there and I'm going to grab two like I normally do. This one. This one's calling my name. Beaver Maple. Beaver Maple. Yeah, so we tried the original Beaver before. It has made an appearance on this channel. Now, from my understanding, this was released for people to try ahead of time, but it was just released, I think, in late January of 2025, if I recall. So I tried the original Beaver, and you can watch a video. I'll put that somewhere, boop, boop, somewhere, and you can watch that yourself. But I actually really liked it. It was an interesting one. I won't go too much into it here, but I found it delightful. The only thing that was a little bit strange was there was a little bit of a Band-Aid scent to it. And it's funny because I let my friend try it, and he was like, yeah, it's nice, but there's something weird about it. And he goes, it smells like a Band-Aid. He said the same thing. So it wasn't just me. I guess we have the same, like, scent profile we can pull out, because it was very strange. So this is Beaver, the Maple edition. And I know I've seen with Dodo and stuff, they do the same thing. They'll add things in. Okay, so here we are with this dapper little guy. And in sun-drenched spring, air infuses the tangle of timbers the beavers call home, inviting the family to venture from their cozy dens. There's more, I won't read it all, but I like reading the first couple lines. And evoking the onset of spring, Zoologist Beaver Maple Edition combines fresh florals with the delightful sweetness of cocoa-infused maple syrup. Whew, that sounds good. Okay. So, top notes are blue water lily, neroli essential Egypt, carrot heart. Carrot heart, interesting. Heart notes, maple accord, vetiver, oil Haiti, Peru balsam oil, cedarwood Atlas, cedarwood Virginia. So two different types of that cedarwood. Interesting. I don't know if I'd be able to tell them apart, but I don't mix these perfumes for a living. So there you go. Base notes, always vanilla. Vanilla bean extract CO2, cocoa shell Madagascar, castoreum reconstitution. Castoreum reconstitution. I think that has something to do with the animal scent. I'll put it to the side because I don't know that one. And sandalwood, New Caledonia, and patchouli. So this is very different from the original. Very different. So what I may do is a side, or like one here and one below, to show you the difference between the two. Because these are different notes. I'm not even sure if it's even near the same fragrance, but yeah. But this one is new. This one is new. One of the first fragrances released in 2025. From my understanding, there are 3 more coming this year. So they're really kind of cranking them out. But I know, I wonder if they'll be keeping all of them in the profile over time or what. But here we go. So this one has a slight brown color to it, reminiscent kind of maple. You cannot smell it. I'm curious how prolific the maple scent is going to be. This doesn't kind of surprise me, coming from Canada, their pride and joy. Well, they have more than just that, but maple. So there it is here. And then we'll do it up here just so I can reach it. It's only doing half pump, so that's why you'll see me do more. Okay. You're not supposed to do that, really. So the first note that comes through is the vetiver. And I am not a huge fan of vetiver. It's one of the notes that, I don't know, it's just okay for me. Not a huge fan. Ooh, but then, Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Ooh, it has like a strange earthiness to it. Very interesting, which doesn't surprise me. I felt like the other Beaver was a little bit more aquatic, and a little bit woodsy, aquatic, and like I said, a hint of Band-Aid to it, and a tad bit of floral. So you really felt like you were in the water. You were in it, building their little den. You were part of it, and a nice spring breeze came through. This is a little bit different. Huh. What I may do at the end of the day is compare the two on each wrist and just wash it off if it doesn't last all day, because I'm curious to see the difference, but I don't want to do that now when I'm testing this out. Interesting. I can't really pull out that many notes. I definitely get a sweetness from it, and believe it or not, on here, I actually do know what a kumquat smells like. I do get it here. Is that strange that I could pull it out? I eat a lot of mochi from Japan and stuff, and the place that I go, they have a lot of kumquat ones. So I'm used to eating the little pieces in it, and it does have a certain scent. So that's how I do know that one. It's funny how we pick up scents in life, but I get a sweetness to it. I definitely get a sweetness to it. And then I do get a little bit of the Band-Aid scent. And I think that is the castoreum. Am I saying that correctly? I think that's the castoreum, which is the animal byproduct, which I forgot to say, Zoologist doesn't use. They don't use that. They use synthetic. So I am getting a little bit of that scent again. And I think that's the Band-Aid scent, is the Beaver scent. So, it's so interesting. There's so much going on that I don't really know what is what. Which usually I get certain pulls from this, and I'm having a hard time with it. I get the kumquat here and a little bit of the vetiver, and then there's a little bit of a sweetness with it. I know, I almost want to look at the notes again, because usually I can pull things out. This is really difficult. This is really a little bit of a mishmash. There's a sweetness. I definitely get that. It could be the maple accord. It could be the vanilla. I get the vetiver. Do I get even the woodsy? Yeah. Yep. I do get a little bit of the cedar. I do. It took me a second. I had to look at this to go, is it there? It is, but it's so far back. That's so strange. Okay, so I think what I need with this one is for it to develop a little bit, because normally I'll pull notes out right and left. With this one, I'm having a little bit of a harder time. So but I do want to say, it is a beautiful scent. It's very nice, but it's just hard to pull the notes out. So what I need this to do is sit for about an hour, and I think we should be good to go. So let's do that. Okay, so it has been an hour, and it has settled a little bit. So this isn't, to me, a really loud scent in any way. I feel like it really mingles well on the body in that, I don't know, some of them, like the florals and of course T-Rex and even camel, are very distinct. I feel like this one is more of a bit of a safer scent so far. So I definitely now get more of the aquatic scent of it, especially on the skin. Again, this is going to play out very differently on your chemistry than mine, and also how you perceive scents, but definitely get the aquatic feel to it. I do still get a little bit of the castoreum, I hope I'm saying that right, but the scent from, it's so weird saying that, from the Beaver. In the US, it's kind of a tricky one to say. And it doesn't really smell as much of it like a Band-Aid now. No, it kind of smells, this is so strange. On my skin, it smells like freezer burn. It smells a little bit like freezer burn. You know, when you leave stuff in that freezer over 6 months and you pull it out and you're like, yeah, I'm not eating this. That's what this smells like a little bit. It has a sweetness to it, which is probably the maple. I don't really get the chocolate, but I get the sweet aquatic freezer burn. So it's like the little beaver and his family has been in its den all winter and it's cold and it got freezer burned. That's what it smells like a little bit. Now let's try it on the lapel here. Interesting. So here it's much more green. I get more of the greenery of it, less aquatic. So I get a little bit of carrot. You can smell a little bit of the carrot here, and then you get a little bit of that neroli, and the greenness of that. Yeah, very interesting. So, So I actually get a little bit of the chocolate here. Chocolate and maple with like a greenness. Very interesting. I actually like it better on my clothing than I do on my wrist. I mean, nobody wants to go out and smell like freezer burn. So, especially a sugared freezer burn. But on here, it smells, yeah, that's nice. It's like a sweet, chocolatey greenery. Very interesting how this one is morphed. I much prefer here to here. Not that this is bad. This isn't bad, but it's just freezer burn. Yeah, interesting. So what I'm going to do is probably go to the 4.5, 5 hour mark. I don't perceive this lasting as long as some of the other ones. For some reason, this one just, I can already tell, is very weak on me. If that is the case and it's just basically a skin scent, what I will do is I will compare this to the original and kind of put them side by side. So this may make this video a little bit longer, but some people may be curious about that to see the difference. Again, chemistry pulls so differently, so it may not smell like that to you, but maybe it will. Maybe we're scent twinsies. Who knows? But I will see you in the 4.5, 5 hour mark. Okay, so we are back. We are back. It's been about 4.5, 5 hours. The scent, hey baby, you're not going to want to be around for the blast zone. It's very faint on my skin. So what's interesting is after a few hours, it slowly went to more of an aquatic maple scent, but it took like 3 hours to get there, which I don't know if that just is normal for most people. It isn't normally for me, but it still has the main note that I'm getting is freezer burn. So it's freezer burn with aquatic maple, but it's so light. It's like, hey baby, it's like a skin scent. And yeah, it didn't last too long. And maybe that's just my skin where it just doesn't last long. We all know it's going to last longer in fabric. So let's check this out. So here is interesting. So it's more of a green scent here. Very much more of a green scent with a little bit of sweetness. Like a little bit of a spicy green with sweetness here. It doesn't get the freezer burn, none of that. But I couldn't necessarily tell that it was maple smelling this. I don't really get that at all. I know I don't want to blast zone you, baby. I have both to look at in comparison, the original Beaver versus the maple. And let's go ahead and look at that because I think I'm done with this one in that for me, it just never really morphed into where I wanted it to go. I feel like the silage and longevity on the original Beaver was much better than the one with the maple in it. This could just be a me thing. Also, it just pulled out a strange freezer burn scent. I like what it is on my clothing, but I have better green scents than this. So for me, I think this would work really well on the right chemistry, but I don't think it's the right chemistry for me. I actually think the original works a lot better on me than the maple. So there you go. I do feel that the silage was okay. I feel like the longevity, it's pretty much gone on my wrist. And it's a very, very light scent on my shirt. Very light. So it's pretty much never really moved beyond a personal space bubble for me. I did peek online. That was not the case for other people. It's amazing how chemistry works. But for me, this just wasn't, it just wasn't what I was looking for. So before I look at the both of them, I would probably rate this one about a 6 point, no, probably a 6. Let's go with the 6. Because maybe even a 5. I hate to say it, probably maybe even a 5, but a 5, 6. Let's go with the 6. Because I appreciate the scent here. I do. Part of it's my chemistry smelling like freezer burn, but this is a nice scent, but it's just kind of an average green scent for me. And I think part of it was my chemistry just didn't pull out what makes this special. So I think that was the issue. This isn't necessarily one that I would buy because it didn't work with my chemistry, but it may work for you. Other people were getting mega maple everywhere, which I would have loved, but for some reason that didn't really come out on me. But other people, they're like, it was maple galore. And I'm like, damn, I wish that was me, but it wasn't. So, you know, it is what it is. Not everything works for everyone. And just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean that it won't work for you. So there you go. If you want a green scent or, you know, a maple scent, you got to find one that works for you. And sometimes, you know, go sample wise. Always go sample wise is what I'm learning, because I used to buy full bottles and I realized, you know, that's not the smartest move. So then you're stuck with things that you're never really going to use. You could trade them, sell them off, whatever, but you know, it's more pain than you need. So with that, I am going to go in and spray the new one again here, just lightly, very lightly. Whoops, I almost rubbed them together. I did not. And this is going to be confusing. Oh, it is on that hand though. Okay, so then the original on this side. Okay. So let us do this. Now this is kind of a dumb idea, perhaps. Let's keep that there. Oh, the original's so good. The only thing about the original that I don't like is that camel scent, or not camel scent, that Band-Aid scent. Band-Aid scent. I don't care for that. I think that's the castrum. Is that what it is going off the top of my head? That Band-Aid scent is the only thing getting in the way. Beyond that, it's just this beautiful, light, aquatic scent. Oh, it makes me think of the color blue. Is that weird? I tend to think like that. I think in flow and color and memory. It's very strange. I tend to have a very artistic mind, so keep that in mind. And then the Beaver maple. So where this one is light and airy and reminiscent of where the beaver lives in the water, and it's spring and they're coming out of the den, and a light waft breeze carries a little hint of floral. That's what I get with the original. With the new one, Beaver maple is a little bit heavier. It's not a heavy scent. No. You know, no, definitely not. But I would look at that more with the ones I've tried, like T-Rex and Camel, which are a little bit heavier. This isn't that type of heavy, but it is sweeter than this one. It's sweeter and a little bit, I don't know. It feels like this is the Beaver that is coming out during the spring and getting that fresh breeze with the little bit of flower note. This one is Beaver where it's been a long summer, happy summer. The den is built and it's starting to get cold. It's a little bit that, and it's time to go to sleep. A little bit more sweet. Got on this finger too. A little bit more sweet, but a little bit more woodsy for me briefly before it goes to freezer burn. Which makes sense if it's late fall and it's going into winter. I guess it would be frozen, so there you go. But oh, this one, the original is just so, for me, my body chemistry. It's aquatic. It has that like green aquatic to it, and a little bit of cedar with just a tad of floral. This one's more floaty. It also has more projection. Like right now, I can smell that. This, can't smell it at all. Yeah, so maybe it's just my body chemistry, but there is most definitely a difference between these, so don't think you're going to buy the one and, oh, the original, and here's some maple in it. It's been reconstructed to pull out a different part of the Beaver's life. So this is late fall going into winter. This one's like, yay, we're getting out of winter, it's spring. Two different profiles. For me, I will stick with the original. I feel like the original is just delightful. That's it. Yeah, you know. But I think if I were going to buy one, it'd definitely be this one. This is on my list. Maybe a little bit lower than some of the other ones, but right now I have the three that I would really love, which is Nightingale, Hummingbird, and Beaver. I would definitely look at eventually. But this one, unfortunately, is a pass for me. Not because it's bad. It's just it doesn't work for my body chemistry as well as this one does. So there you go. But let me know if you've tried this one and you've tried both of them. I would love to hear what the notes smell like to you or how you feel about the original versus the new one. I'm hoping that doesn't mean they're going to get rid of the old one, because I actually really like that one. But I suppose over time, if something's not selling well, you know, you don't necessarily want it to be taking up space either. So I'm just curious. I'm curious to see how this one's doing. Interesting. But yeah, let me know what you think down below on the two, if you've used them both, or even if you just used them individually, because I love hearing how other people perceive scents. I find it so fascinating. But yeah, so with that, have a fabulous day, my friends. Bye. Ooh, 2 whiffs. Bye. Come on. Come on.